Oi, oi, and welcome to the Orient Outlook podcast, sponsored by Carol Langley Florist, with myself, Steve Nussbaum, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend, my South Stand chum, the bearded legend, the one and only, the daddy-o. It's Mr. Paul Levy.
Thank you very much indeed. Hello everybody, welcome back. This is episode number 409, and thanks as always to everyone who took their time to tune into last week's show, and also Jason and Craig from the ladies team. Great insight from them, more about them and the team and how they got on later in the show. But this week, very, very special guest joining us all the way from round the corner to where we're recording now. Alfie Lloyd is waiting to speak to us. So without any further delay, we always start the podcast with a word from our podcast sponsor.
All right, the podcast is sponsored by Carol Langley Florist. They're based in Chingford and have served the borough of Waltham Forest and the surrounding area for over the last 70 years. They've got a fantastic team there. Can do anything you need them to do. Weddings, family funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, you name it. They can do it, and they offer all those fans and staff 15% off, which is a great deal. So if you fancy some of that, you can get in touch with Carol Langley Florist. You can give them a call on 0208 529 4130. You can go online, you can find them. Their website is www.carollangley.co.uk, or you can find the team on social media. They're on Instagram at Carol Langley Florists, they're on Twitter at Carol Langley E4, or you can find the guys on Facebook at Carol Langley Florists.
So now, moving on to our very special guest, we are delighted to be joined by summer recruit Alfie Lloyd. Alfie, thank you so much for coming on and giving up your Sunday evening to join us. Let's start with yesterday's game. Thoughts on the Blackpool, the game and the result?
First of all, just want to say thank you for having me on. You know what I'm saying? So it's a pleasure to be here. But thinking about the game yesterday, it was literally like a gut punch. Like, I was gutted with that goal right at the end. I was like thinking, the game was weird. It was weird. We were good. We were decent. Didn't think Blackpool were great. I think obviously the red cards changed the game. I actually missed the incident. I was coming out of the change room. So yeah, I missed the incident. Obviously Teo got sent off. So that changed the whole second half. So the second half is up against it. But honestly, with 11 men, we would have been one night easily. But it's just difficult when you go down to 10 and you're up against it second half. But I still think we had some good moments. Obviously, when I passed to Chaz and he missed. And we had a few little moments. I think Ollie O'Neill was just incredible yesterday. So he had a really good game, and we still threatened. But when you're back against the wall of that 10 men hitting them on the counter, and the pressure's coming in the last minute, you've just got to kind of withhold that. And if you would have said at half time when Teo got sent off, okay, would you take a point now? I think a lot of people would have. So that's what the message was from the gaffer, was like, listen, you guys were excellent. Can't fault your effort. So it was just one of them ones. But it was very disappointing. It felt like a loss. Very disappointed in the change room. The lads obviously have big dreams, big aspirations. So any points that we dropped, with feeling they were gutted about it. So yeah, it was disappointing. But still showing signs of a really good team, I think.
You mentioned your run, which was a great run, so kudos to you. Were you tempted to have a sneaky shot? I think you took the right option because it was in a good position, Wellens, but at the same time, I'm sure other number 9s would have gone, this is mine, I'm just going to keep going and put my laces through it. Tempted at all there, Alfie?
You know what it is, yeah? I've been thinking about this for the last 24 hours. I've been thinking about it and going over it. I've been texting. I even texted my mum. I don't know why I texted my mum. My mum just says, "Oh, you're amazing." But I've texted some of my old coaches, texted my agent, texted my friends. I'm like, lads, what do you think? Should I have just gone on and scored, or do you think I should have done the right thing and passed? I think that the pass was the right option, but I think what the problem was because I've sprinted from where it come from was the corner. So I sprinted from the corner to the halfway line to beat the guy for the thing. Then I've sprinted the whole other way. And I think what it was because I ran that whole way, I was getting a bit tired towards the end, and I just I was just going to pass it. But what I should have done was took a few extra touches to bait the defender out, to make him make a decision, and then pass it to Chaz when he would have had more time. But should I have shot? I'm not sure. I can't think about things like that too much. I can't just go off instinct. So but I've been thinking about it, and it would have been nice to get my first goal at home. But you know what? Hopefully it's going to come soon. It won't be long. So yeah.
Thing is, if you'd have shot and the keeper would have saved it, or you'd have missed, and everyone would have been, well, why didn't you square it to Charlie? So it's a kind of, you made the right decision. You had earned the right to shoot, so no one would have begrudged the number 9 having that opportunity. But Charlie's shot was obviously, he's obviously very disappointed about that, I presume.
Yeah, of course. But it's just one of them things, you know, it's just like sometimes when things don't go right or there's mistakes on the pitch, I don't like to think about it too much, because then the next time you get that chance, you start overthinking it, you know? Yeah. So I just feel like that, you know, it was unlucky from Charlie. It was unlucky from me. Should I have shot? Shouldn't I have shot? I think the next time I get in that situation again, I'm just gonna go off instinct and make what I think is the right decision. I'm not gonna be going through thinking, oh, last time I passed it, this time I must shoot. I'm just gonna whatever's the best chance of a goal, we're just gonna do that. So it's one of them. It's just one of them.
So thoughts on the season so far then, Alfie? I mean, we're in late November now, the 16th in the league, in the next round of the Virtue Trophy, in the second round of the FA Cup. So thoughts on the season?
You know what? I think that it's definitely... Obviously, I know last season... I didn't watch Orient last season, so... Really, because I was at QPR, I was playing every week. I didn't know I was going to come on loan last season, so I never watched them before I got here. So I can't really go off last, because obviously you lots are probably thinking, well, last season we was this good in this area, and this season we're not as good in that area. It's like I'm getting a fresh eyes on it. So from what I've seen, I think we've definitely got really, really talented group. Like when I train, I can just see there's talent everywhere. You know, like obviously Aaron Connolly's been in the Prem. Like, he's an amazing player. Like Don Ballard, really good striker. Koroma, like really good. Jack Morehouse, Teo, Joe White, everyone, like Tyreek, Sean Clare. Literally, there's talent. Like TJ, there's talent everywhere. So I feel like there's a really good, squad. Really nice lads. And obviously the fans are going to be disappointed, right? I guess kind of that's the... I'm not on social media too much. I don't look at it too much. I really try and stay away from it. So I don't really know what the vibe is, but I can kind of tell that a lot of the fans are a little bit disappointed about how the season's gone so far. But I think that in football, it's like you can't just be too emotional about game by game. If you're seeing patterns of play, and if say we were like 12th, and maybe the performances have just been bad, but we've been sneaking wins. I feel like we've had some really bad performances. Like Wickham the other week was really bad. Exeter was better. I think yesterday was better. I think there's definitely signs there of a team that's going to really kick on the second half of the season. So, I just feel like as long as the performances are trending in the right direction, I know not everyone's going to be great, but as long as we're trending in the right direction, I think like we can do something here, definitely.
Yeah, you ride your luck when you're playing badly and winning, because at some point that luck is going to stop. So then what have you got?
Yeah.
You've got a bottom 4 finish. So fair point, well made. So let's just take a step back then. How did your move to Orient come about in the end?
How did my move to Orient come about? So I knew that at the end of the season at QPR, I was told by QPR that I would be going on loan pretty early on. So pretty much as soon as the season finished, basically, they were telling me next season I was going to be going on loan. Obviously, what complicated it was that I think it was mid-April, tore my groin against Cardiff. So I played Cardiff, tore my groin, had surgery then. I meant to be out for 4 months. So that kind of complicated things. But I knew pretty sure that I was going on loan next season. So from that point, obviously my agent and the club were made aware of like my availability. So obviously quite a few clubs in League One come in. And when I first heard of Orient, obviously it was at that point that Charlie Kelman just scored 23 goals. And I knew Charlie since we was like 18, because we both was at QPR. So I know him quite a bit. So I texted him about Orient. I was like, what do you think? I'm quite close to Paul Smith at QPR. So obviously I asked him as well, what do you think? I was kind of like seeing my options, and I had a few meetings with a few different clubs. Obviously, met the manager, and I think I just got the best vibe of the manager and just the club in general, of who I was speaking to. Like, he plays attacking football. Like, the style of play is really good. I feel like I'm the type of 9 that he really wants. And the way he kind of told me about his plans and how I was going to fit into the plans, I was like, you know what, like this is something that I can definitely see myself playing in. And like, the lads at Cooper really pushed me for it. They were like, trust me, go. Like, he'll turn you into a player. Like, just trust it. I was like, yeah, you know what, Orient, I think, obviously in the playoff final last year as well. So looking at that, thinking, okay, next season we're gonna hopefully do one better. So yeah, that's kind of like what happened. It was just over the summer I was meeting a few different clubs, and I just got the best vibe of Orient and of who I spoke to. They really pushed me to it, and I was like, yeah, you know what, let's do it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Obviously, I thought you might have spoken to Kelman and Paul Smith, obviously 2 great players in the Orient shirt. Obviously, we know about the injury, so not ideal for you. I guess, how frustrating was that for you to come to a new club? You know, you spoke to Richie, you want to hit the ground running, and you get injured very early on. I guess that must have been a very frustrating time for you.
Yeah, like, I'll be honest, like, it was really, I was quite upset about it. I was just really gutted about everything, like how it went. Because obviously, just coming on loan, all you want to do is just play and prove yourself. For me to get injured that early on and to be out for that long was just, really like disappointing. And also the fact that I was doing my rehab away from Orient as well was another tough factor, because I couldn't really get around the lads. So I kind of just felt like I wasn't anywhere, you know. So yeah, I had a tough couple months. I'll be honest. I had a tough couple months. So luckily, I'm through the other side of it now. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to making up for lost time. I know probably a lot of people probably forgot about me after I signed. I think there was a few, like, you know, the Ian Wright thing, like, who's this? Like, I thought he was dead when I come back. You know, like, you know, I've done my first interview. Like, wait, who's that? Who's that? Yeah. So I am here for the season. So it's a long season, and I know I missed the first third of it, which was I was gutted, but you know what? I'm just really trying to put it behind me now and just focus on, you know, having a strong rest of the season. Yeah, but I'm since I've come in permanently about a month ago, since I've like come in after my injury and full time, just having a really good time, just enjoying it. So yeah.
So let's take the opposite side of that. What was it like making your debut? How was that feeling like when you finally got to put on your boots and come on the pitch?
It was it was literally nearly 7 months. So yeah, it was a lot of bad days, a lot of dark days, but kind of just made me more grateful for when I am playing, you know, because I don't want. Sometimes I need to enjoy it more when I'm in the moment when I'm playing, you know. So it kind of made me realise that when I'm actually fit and I'm available, that never take that for granted, because that can be taken away from me in an instant. And every game, you never know which game could be your last. So yeah, just really trying to enjoy the moment more. Like the other day, just kind of soaking it up. Like when P scored against Exeter, just kind of soaking up the environment, just realising that, you know, we're the best job in the world. So really, what is there really to complain about, you know?
Absolutely. No, that's fair. And I guess you're in good company as well. Obviously, Theo Archibald's been out for quite a long time with a very serious injury. He's now signed for the club and made a comeback. But also you've got good characters in the dressing room as well, which obviously they wouldn't have made you feel like an outsider by any stretch of imagination, right?
Yeah, no, they've got really good characters. It's a really good group of lads. Shout out Bex, like really helped me settle in. He's a really, really good guy. With my faith as well, we've got a good Christian group there. So I think there's like 10 of us. Like they all get up together once a week, pray, talk about the words. So it's really important to me. But I've kind of got that brotherhood already a little bit. So yeah, that's good.
So what are your hopes for the season in Alfie? Like I said, you've come close to scoring the first goal. I think you hit the bar literally 9 minutes into your debut. That would have been an amazing goal had that gone in. Yep. You spoke about the run yesterday where, unselfishly, which was a testament to you, it seems like you've, I wouldn't say won over the Orient fans, because I don't think you ever had to win them over, but I think a lot of fans rate you, as we do. Looking forward to seeing you play the rest of the season. What are your hopes? You got aims for the season?
Oh, it is. When you come back from these injuries, I never like to judge myself too early. Like, you know, I've been out for 7 months and I had no pre-season, so it's hard for me to expect to like be absolutely flying after 5 cameos off the bench. You know, it's not going to be like. And I know that some games, like, I can't lie, I had a stinker against Wickham the other day when I come on. Like, I mean, like, I'll be honest, I had a stinker against Wickham when I come on. I think it was my first league game. No, I don't have a stink. Well, I had a bit of a stinker, yeah. But like, it's just when you come back. I've been through these injuries before. When you come back, first couple of games, like the brain and the foot is not connected. It's not connecting. So, just get my flow back. You know, I'm trying not too much pressure on myself to like be absolutely flying at my best within 5 games of a 7-month injury. So, my goals for the season, I don't really set too many goals. I like to take it day by day. Like, what am I doing every day? Like, training. Am I disciplined enough? Am I working on something? Obviously, the aim is for the club is to get promoted. My personal aim is to just bang in as many goals as I can. Why can't we just do both, you know?
Absolutely.
Do you set yourself a goal? And a lot of strikers do. You don't set yourself a goals target at all, or any particular mark other than what you said. Just to press you a bit on that, you don't set yourselves sort of numerical targets or anything.
I mean, I wake up every day before a game, like, I want to score today. So I guess that's a goal set. And every game, I'm thinking, right, let's score today. Like, you know, I think, I just try and score every game. So
Fair.
It sounds simple, but like when I have a number there, like if I score 30 goals, but 15 of them are penalties, and it's like, and I'm not really playing that well, or I'd just rather just be playing well, scoring. If I play well, the goals will come. So I'm not trying to force the outcome, you know?
Yeah, fair. We had a few listener questions as well. Orient Fan TV, we've asked your one, we've covered that. But LOFC Loza says, firstly, love the energy that you bring on the pitch. She goes on to ask, what player did you emulate and copy in the playground when you were growing up? So what players did you kind of try to copy, and who did you idolise as a kid?
Who did I idolise as a kid? Well, my childhood heroes, obviously, like Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford. I remember watching his debut when I was like 11, 12, and then seeing him literally come through and then do what he's doing now. Rashford's definitely like my hero because, I just love everything about him. I'm so happy that he's kind of turned his career around a little bit and had a resurgence at Barca. But actually, who else? Rooney. Rooney. A little bit Rooney. Ronaldo as well. But I feel like for the people nowadays, because I come from non-league, I love the non-league ones. So you got your Jamie Vardy's, lads that have been had a later career resurgence. You got obviously Alex Scott now playing at Bournemouth in England, that come through at Guernsey. So I love the ones that come through the lower leagues and go up. But I think that striker I actually looked at the most at for my game is probably Ollie Watkins actually. So Ollie Watkins, that sort of 9, the movements that he makes off the shoulder, the runs that he makes across the box, and he's actually really, really good in the air. I know he's had a bit of a down year this year, but obviously Ollie as well, come from the West Country like me, so Southwest. So we played. He was at Exeter, so he would have played in the same league, under-18s league that I played in at Yeovil. So Ollie Watkins probably actually my footballing hero in terms of motivational, one of them ones.
She also asks, who do you support as a fan? I'm guessing it might have been United based on Rashford, Ronaldo. I'm guessing it's United.
Yeah.
And the fact you don't live anywhere near Manchester.
Well, you know what? I was a United / Yeovil fan. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, but Yeovil. That's my home, man. That's my home. So I grew up literally 2 minutes from the stadium. So that's my home. So they went to all the games of my granddad's. Went to the playoff final against Brentford when they got promoted. Ended up playing for them, even though it was only one game. That was a big thing for me. So growing up in the area, that was also my team growing up. Yeovil. Yeah, everyone knows that.
We're conscious of the time, so we've got a couple of more things to cover with you. Dave Danu asks, what's been the biggest lesson you've learned from training with more experienced players?
I think for me is that the drive and focus that they bring every day. to training. Sounds a bit cliche. I'm trying not to be a bit cliche, but I feel like the leaders in the team, the big leaders, the big voices, they're at it every day. And it starts obviously with the manager, but every day they're at it and they're demanding. And if you mess up, they're going to let you know. You know what I mean? For me, I feel like the desire to be there every day, and also the lads that aren't playing as well, they still bring it. They still bring it like they are playing. You know, the lads that aren't playing, they still bring that energy. I bring that energy. We all bring that energy. So in training, some days it doesn't. I wouldn't say it gets heated, but we're going at it. You know, like we're it's intense. The intensity's high. The gaffer's always talking about intensity. So when we bring that intensity to training, then we go and play. Like I know. If I'm playing and I've seen maybe Ollie O'Neill train 100 mile an hour all week, I know on a Saturday, okay, Ollie's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ollie's gonna run his heart out. Dom's gonna run his heart out. The lads on the bench are gonna come on, they're gonna run their heart out. You know what I mean? So if we've seen that in the week, then we know the weekend that we're good to go, and that no one can live with us whoever we play against.
You can tell from when Richie Wellens talks about you how much he rates you. He seems like a fantastic man manager. What's it like being a player under Richie Wellens? Because I can imagine he probably shouts at you a lot on the pitch, or that's the impression we get of a match day. Like, he can be very on you, but he seems like he'd be a great manager to work for.
Yeah. Obviously, I've only been there for probably actually about a month, like training every day. He's definitely very, very excellent, very good manager. His man management skills are very good, and I think that, like, tactically, the little details that he has is very detailed. It's a lot more detailed than I thought. Maybe that's a bit not elitist of me, maybe, if that's the right word. Like, you know, like some people, I don't know, maybe you've had some loans that drop down and be like, I'm coming down to leave, like, blah, blah, blah. So I wasn't thinking that. I was like, I just didn't know that it was that detailed. And I was like, okay, like tactically, like the little things that he gives us are very, very good. So I'm really enjoying working under him. Really, really happy. I'm just happy in general at being at the club at the moment. You know, I'm just even though I haven't really got going. I know I haven't really got going properly. Yes. I've been playing a little bit, but I haven't had any starts, haven't had any goals yet. Yes. So, but I'm just very, very happy with how the first couple of games are going, and I'm settled in really well with the lads, and I'm having a great time. You know,
Good.
It's a great time. A good time to be an O because I'm enjoying it. So absolutely. I feel like an O. I'm an O already.
Of course you are.
Of course, the minute you signed.
Absolutely.
I'm a O. UOs. Call UOs. Yeah. If you're honest, you are, isn't it? Then we say UOs.
Yeah, we're the O's. Yeah, we're the O's. Don't get that wrong. Yeah. Don't go R's or anything like that. That will not go down well.
Yeah. The O's. But I vibe with that. I like it.
Good. And long may that continue. And I guess from our perspective as fans to you, I mean, obviously we don't get to meet you particularly often. So from us to you, if you're doing the basics right and you're coming with the right attitude and energy and you're happy at home and you bring that into training, you bring that to the ground, you bring that to games, it will fall into place for you. That's why I say yet, because you will start scoring. Things will click on the pitch a bit more. Yesterday could have been number one, but you made a different decision, and unfortunately that went the way it went. And we're not going to dwell on that because you can't change it. So it's the right behaviours and the right attitudes, and you're in a group of players that won't let that change because they'll soon tell you when your behaviours and attitudes are wrong. The likes of Omar Beckles, the Theo Archibalds, who have earned the right to have a contract to be at the club, having been injured for that period of time, for example, with Theo. It's amazing. His determination, his attitude, his hunger, his desire is relentless.
Yeah, definitely. Theo's top guy. I just think that, you know, I don't know how it is with loans, but I'm gonna treat every game like I'm a permanent player. You know, it's not in my mind that For me, I'm here. That's the only thing I'm focused on is being here at the moment. So they're always gonna get the. Can you hear my dishwasher, by the way?
No.
You don't hear? Okay, because it's being very loud, so I didn't know whether
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm just gonna bring attitude's going to be good. The work ethic's going to be there. The energy's going to be there. and I'm going to run myself into the ground for the team. And we're going to have a good time doing it, and we're going to win at the weekends, and we're going to smile, and everyone's going to be happy, and we're going to bring the vibes, and then yes, it's going to be cool.
They say never fall in love with a lone player, but we're falling in love with many, Alfie. So I'm sure we'll be falling in love with you.
You know what it is? Yeah, I just try to be myself. Like I don't like like football nowadays is quite robotic, and like it is, isn't it?
Yes, very contrived, very set up and structured.
Yeah. And like, I just want to enjoy playing, and I want to play with a smile on my face. I'm not playing with a smile on my face. Like, what am I even doing it for? You know,
exactly.
It's not even, sometimes I used to get so down. Like, even last year, sometimes like, I've had a bad game. Like, going on social media, seeing people slagging you off, or whatever, and it's like feeling a bit bad about it. And I'm just like, I want to play with a smile on my face, and I want to put smiles on people's faces when I play. I want people to play. Like the way I play, people always, they don't really know what they're gonna do next, because sometimes I don't know what I'm doing next. But like it's like people on the edge of their seats, like get the crowd going. Like I used to last year when I was playing, I used to get told off by some of the senior players because I used to always try to pick up the fans, innit? Like they're like Alf, every 3 minutes you're flapping your arms up at the fans. Get in for the corner, like. Just focus on the game. I'm like, yeah, but I want to get. So I used to come on, maybe smash someone, then like, let's go, everyone, bring the energy up. So yeah, one of them ones. But I'm just, honestly, I'm just gonna play with a smile on my face, then just see what's going on. Yeah, I like it though. It's cool.
Do you have any pre-match superstitions, Alfie?
No ways. Yeah, I like to read my Bible. Always read Psalm 91. Actually, I'm on Bible here. It's not even a video. It's not even a video podcast. It's an audio one. Yeah. But on my Bible here, I like to read my Bible before a game. I like to read Psalm 91 because that gives me protection, gives me peace, gives me guidance. And after I read that and I pray about the game, I pray for everyone watching. I pray for myself, my teammates. After I do that and I just feel like the peace of God over me, I feel like I can just do anything when I'm out there. I feel like I can just take on anyone, and I can play with utmost confidence in myself, knowing that I'm protected no matter what, and no matter what happens, that is His will, not mine. So, yeah.
Amazing, lovely. Couple of final questions for you. We ask everybody that comes on. I can't remember what Charlie Kelman said when he came on, but I think it was quite a good one. You've got a choice of any 3-course meal: starters, mains, dessert. What you going for?
See, when you say 3-course meal, does 3 courses have to be related, or can it be a unrelation?
Anything you like. Anything like you could have oysters with spaghetti bolognese, for example, as your main, and apple crumble as your dessert, for example.
Oh, see, now you said apple crumble, now you're making me change my mind. I'm saying. You can't be doing that.
Go with what you would do.
But I'm not a starter type of guy though. That's the thing.
Okay.
I'm not really starter is what I'm struggling at. I think.
What would you go for main then? No.
Do a starter. I like. You know when you go Nando's, get the halloumi sticks.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I like a bit of halloumi sticks, but also like a bit of dough balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only have one.
Yeah, I'm just listening. I'm having a little list. Multiple choice. What else you got going on? You know what? I'm still with halloumi, I think. Yeah.
Good shout.
Halloumi.
Yeah, good shout.
Yeah. We have halloumi from Nando's. Then for the main, we're gonna take a Caribbean. I think a little curry goat.
Yeah.
Rice and peas with plantain.
Yeah, nice.
There's a place in Loughton. Shout out Palm Bay.
Palm Bay. I live round the corner from there. I literally 5 minutes from there.
It's fantastic.
You're talking about Palm Bay, yeah.
Shout out Palm Bay, because I've been there about 1 million times since I've been there. That spot is the best.
It's proper, it's really good in there.
Curry goat from Palm Bay, rice and peas with plantain, maybe even a sweet dumpling on there.
Yeah.
Then dessert. You know what it is? Dessert. It's 2. Because I was going to go sticky toffee pudding. Yeah? What are you shaking your head for?
No, not over apple crumble.
No, I'm with you on the sticky toffee pudding.
I'll have apple crumble custard.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going apple crumble.
Plenty of people like sticky toffee pudding. I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer.
I'm going apple crumble custard. That is top. But you know what? It's got to be way more crumbled than the apple.
No, other way round. No.
What?
No, it's got to be a healthy mix of the two, to be fair.
Nah, I'm more crumble. I'm a more crumbly guy than an appley
Fair.
guy, you know.
Fair.
Nice.
Good choice.
Alfie, to finish in, it's been great talking to you and having on the podcast. I can see your
Amazing.
enthusiasm shining through, and I'm sure that rubs off on your teammates and it will rub off on the crowd. He's got a big smile on his face, everyone. What's your message for the
No,
O's?
I don't. I've got a frown on it, actually. I don't think
I've seen you frown. I don't think you can frown, Alfie, from what I've seen of you, mate. There's a big smile on that face of yours. What's your message to the O's fans listening then? We are 16th in the table, lots to look forward to. Like you said, performances are improving, you're getting fitter as well, so a lot of the season to go. What's your message to the Orient fans?
Thanks for welcoming me. You lots were singing my name after like 5 minutes in the game the other day, you know. I was like, oh my gosh, they actually love me, like, oh my days.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to fans. Thanks for sticking by me. Like, I know it's been difficult. Like, I haven't really been here. So I'm just gonna give my best for the club while I'm here. Just gonna give my absolute best, full dedication. Stick with us. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna do some good things. I'm gonna add to that. And yeah, we got a great group. We got a great manager, great teammates. So stick by us. And when you come to football, like, I don't know, just enjoy it a bit more. You know, I'll try and help that. So yeah, I'll try and help. I'll try and bring the enjoyment to Brisbane Road and away from home as well. So,
Amazing.
Wow. What a bundle of energy, and what a pleasure to speak to what seems like a new signing in Alfie Lloyd. We haven't seen much of him, obviously, because of his injury. But from what we have seen of him, I like what I see. And, you know, speaking to him there, just as we paused, he was fantastic character, infectious attitude. Love it, absolutely love it. So that rounds up our chat with Alfie Lloyd, our number 9. So let's move on then to the Supporters Club. A few updates here for you. On Saturday, the 29th of November, we're off up to Burton Albion for a 3 o'clock kickoff. Coaches will leave the Supporters Club at 9:30. That will cost adults £37 return. Concessions are £34 and kids are £19. That's quite a distance to go. And then on Tuesday, the 2nd of December, we're at home to Plymouth in the Virtu Trophy. That is a 7 o'clock kickoff, and the doors of the Supporters Club will open sharply at 5 p.m.
All right, on Friday the 5th of December, we are off to Salford for the FA Cup second round game. Kick-off this one is at 7:30. Coaches are leaving the Supporters Club at 12:30. And like we said last week, travel is free for this one, as the O's are kindly providing coaches. So that is an absolute bargain of actual no cost. So well done the club for that one. Remember,
Agree.
all the trips we've spoken about, those prices do not include your matchday ticket. And you can book for those trips by calling the Supporters Club on 07507 539 579 or going into the Supporters Club on a match day, pre or post match.
Indeed. No AOB this week, but we want to say thanks to Ben Porter for your very kind support this week on the Buy Me a Coffee app. So if you haven't come across this yet, Buy Me a Coffee is a way that you can support content creators. We are Orient Outlook Podcast on there, so you can go on there and become a regular supporter, a monthly supporter, or you can support us on a one-off or an ad hoc basis. So thanks to everyone who supported us thus far. We are genuinely appreciative and appreciating it, and very overwhelmed by the love that's been shown. So thank you very much indeed.
All right, let's go on to the week that was down at the O's. Happy Monday, the 17th of November. We'll start this one by saying happy birthday to Lamar Gordon.
Indeed, we will. Idris El Mazouni and Charlie Wellens were named in the Football League papers League One Team of the Day following their performances against Exeter City. So well done to both of you.
All right, big piece of news coming out of the club as Gandler Sports Group has secured the rights for a London-based team to join the European Football Alliance, better known as the EFA, and that's American football, y'all. That's not soccer, that's American football. We've got a bit of a riot. Supporters of the EFA from the UK and wider Europe will have the opportunity to visit London to watch their favourite teams, bringing fresh eyes and potential new fans to Leyton Orient and generating economic value for the London Borough of Waltham Forest. Any additional revenue generated by new fans will support the club's ambitions to become a sustainable championship football club.
David Gandler said this is about creating a lasting legacy for East London. European American football builds naturally on Leyton Orient's heritage and spirit, keeping fans connected to world-class sport through the summer and strengthening the cultural heartbeat of our community. We're building something generational. Gandler added, "We want to maximise sporting opportunities for young people in Waltham Forest, Hackney and beyond, so they are all able to dream not only of the EFL and Premier League, but also the NFL or US college football, where talent can open doors to a world-class education. This franchise is that bridge and reflects London's diversity, energy and opportunity."
All right, so a quote there from our chairman. The London team is expected to begin competing in the 2027 European Football Alliance, the EFA season, which runs from mid-May through to the end of August. So it runs after the football season ends to before the football season begins, and that's all on that for the time being. So that's one to definitely keep an eye on. I think there's been some pro reactions to that and some negative reactions to that. I think it's still quite early days in that. I mean, I don't know where they play. That London team plays in 2027 because
I was just going to ask
Orient, Brisbane Road at that point.
Yeah.
So we'll see on that one. Not too sure as it stands.
It is definitely going to be a bit of a suck it and see kind of situation, or a wait and see even, just to see how that does all pan out. And yeah, that was the first thing when I saw that. It's like 2027 is only like, it's going to be 18 months away from as we speak now.
Absolutely, yeah.
So cool. Okay, so let's move on then to Huey Tuesday, the 18th of November. The club confirmed, as we just mentioned, our Virtu Trophy match at home to Plymouth is going to kick off at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, the 2nd of December. So date for your diary or update the calendars. 2nd of December at 7 o'clock is Plymouth Argyle at
I was
home.
quite up for that. Unfortunately, it's my wife's birthday, but hopefully they'll get a good crowd for that.
Yeah.
It's a good possibility.
It's a winnable game.
Going quite far now in that competition, and you get to see some squad players, possibly Theo Archibald back at Brisbane Road if he's kind of comeback is coming to plan, Alfie as well. So absolutely, yeah. So hopefully we'll talk about a victory when we talk about that game in a couple of weeks. Wednesday, the 19th of November, the plaudits kept coming in as Idris El Mazouni was named in the League One Team of the Week following his performance against Exeter City as well. So Idris getting lots of plaudits, absolutely deserved.
Rightly so for last week's performance, agree. The O's were in behind closed door friendly action during the week as well. On Wednesday they played a West Ham under-21 side and the game ended in a 1-1 draw. Thanks to the media team for that information.
Yeah, Thursday the 20th of November, again not much going on, although Richie Wellens was voted the Utilita Manager of the Week following the O's performance and win against Exeter City. So that was voted for by football fans on that one. So well done, Richie.
Absolutely. Friday the 21st of November, birthday boy Lamar Gordon has joined South Shields on a 1-month loan deal. Good luck, Lamar. I think a bit of an eyebrow raising there. It's a bit of a random one to go all the way up to South Shields. I don't know what the connection is between the two clubs or his connection with that area, but
Seems like a far loan deal. Yeah, normally Wealdstone,
Welling is the one, or Hornchurch.
Absolutely. So South Shields does seem like a bit of a trek. So there must be something in there that someone knows someone there to make that one happen.
National League North.
So good luck to them
So
all.
it's a decent standard, to be fair, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to Saturday, the 22nd of November. Then the Young O's were in action away at Exeter City, and we took the lead in the 24th minute as Claudia and Zhang put the O's ahead from the corner, and we doubled our lead in the 36th minute as Jacob Lowe slid and Zhang in, who curled the ball home to make it 2-0 with his second of the game.
Alfie Wellens made it 3-0 on the hour mark, and 2 minutes later Aaron Sterling made it 4. Exeter did pull a consolation goal back in the 74th minute though, but the game ended with an emphatic 4-1 win for the Young O's.
Things that you love to see. Well done, the youth team. All right, the main event, as we all know, on Saturday was the visit of Blackpool at home in the Jordan Brown and Richie Wellens derby. And before the game, we ran a Twitter poll to find out how you thought the O's would get on. We had 140 votes, with 10% of you thinking this game would end in a draw, 16% of you thinking the game would end in a loss, and a huge majority, 74% of you thinking the O's would win the game. As always, thanks to everyone who voted in our Twitter poll.
Indeed. So the team was announced at 1:45. Killian Cahill was in goal. Craig Beckles, Happy and Adaramola were your back four, with Idris and Tyreek Backinson in front of them, with Connolly, Wellens, Ollie O'Neill and Don Ballard up top. The substitutes for this were Simpkin, Clare, Abdullahi, DJ Perkins, Karoma and the aforementioned Alfie Lloyd.
So that side saw 3 changes from last week's win against Exeter City, as in came Omar Beckles to replace Jack Simpson, who was out of the squad. Tyreek Backinson came in to replace Sean Clare, who dropped to the bench, and Ollie O'Neill came in replacing Dimitri Mitchell, who wasn't in the squad either. Your thoughts on that when you saw that 145?
Pleasant surprises for me. Obviously, Tyreek was the standout one there because he did well enough last week. But I thought that Richie potentially would stay the same and put Claire in and then bring Tyreek on at a later point. But he didn't. But yeah, and obviously not knowing what happened to Jack. Jack wasn't even in the squad, so I assumed he was injured. But yeah, surprised obviously at that. And as Richie covers in his post-match that he was ill on Friday. So he was obviously Omar probably was not going to start.
Yeah, for me, I thought that might be the team. I got 10 out of 11 on my fan hub, so I thought Ollie O'Neill might come back in. Like I was saying last week, you got to he's going to have to start a game sooner rather than later. In terms of you can't keep managing him back. He's made enough substitute appearances now to get a start, which he done.
Yeah.
Wasn't surprised by that. Wasn't surprised by Backinson coming in. We all knew Dimitri Mitchell wasn't going to be in the squad, as Richie alluded to. So I mean, that's another big setback for Dimitri Mitchell. Like his Orient career at the moment seems one step forward and 2 steps back. Right, plays once, gets injured, goes missing for a couple of weeks, comes back, does all right, get excited by him, gets injured again.
And listening to Alfie before we started speaking, how frustrating that is. I have a lot of empathy with Dimitri because he can't be loving it either.
Oh, absolutely. No, it must be frustrating for everyone involved. I mean, on that bench you got no defenders. Like obviously Simpson was out of it. Tom James is still out with an injury. Chinedu is back from his loan spell, but not making the squad. So Sean Clare is the most defensive player on that bench. Ultimately, and again, we mentioned players like Joe White, not in the squad. Obiero, not in the squad. Jack Morehouse, not in the squad. So you look at that bench, there's some big opportunities for DJ, Perkins, and Abdullah, I'd even dare say, to cement their places on the bench at the moment. So it must be pressure coming in there. But decent enough. I mean, going into this one, won the last 5. Blackpool coming off 2 straight defeats. You're looking at it going, quite fancy us for that. And I wasn't surprised by that team either.
We had quite a lot of thoughts that came in on this one. Conscious Flesh kicks off this week and says, no idea why Chinedo isn't on the bench at the very least. Good to see Adaramola keep his spot. Time for Backinson to solidify his spot.
Gorillas 1985 said no Simpson again. How is he ever going to get a run in the team or injured again as he isn't on the bench? No Chinedu on the bench as defensive cover. So why did we recall him? Obiero still can't get ahead of DJ and Perkins. I feel sorry for him.
Veal_Lee said, no way should Beckles be playing. I'd rather have Chinedu in the team.
PM 31970. Bench is awful. DJ Abdullah and Perkins still managed to get on there. Well, clearly are not good enough.
You say Paul makes a point there. I mean, and as does Lee about not having Zach Obiero in there or Jack Morehouse in there or Joe White in there over players that as yet we've not really seen perform at the levels that one or two have performed before or haven't performed to the levels that we need. So it is interesting that they are still being given a chance, and I wonder why that is versus the young boys that haven't really been given much of an opportunity at all.
It'd be interesting to see what happens next week because obviously we'll come on to it, but obviously I can't see Idris starting next week's game based on what happened yesterday.
No, Idris is done. It'll be Tyreek and Sean Clare next week.
Well, Tyreek came off the pitch with a head, so
that's
10 days as far as I'm aware, so he ain't playing next week. So if Obiero, White and Morehouse are ever breaking through to that squad, it's next week or it's not at all.
Yeah.
Really, if Obiero isn't in that squad next week, you go, what are you doing? Like, what is the point?
Yeah.
Like, ultimately, of having him at the club. Like, I know he's a youth prospect, but just get him out on loan. I know he got injured, but hasn't been able to get on loan. But send him lower down if needs be. Just get him experience.
Minutes, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fair. Sean Slater, THFC, said would have definitely had Big Phil on the bench for defensive cover, especially as he was recalled and now not in a matchday squad. Great to see Ollie O'Neill back in the 11. Hopefully, we'll see a confident midfield after Elmiz and Backinson's recent goals.
Good point there from Sean. Well, mate, Paul Red Rum, nearly the team I would have picked. I would have had Morehouse in, who's not even in the squad, instead of Backinson. I'm so glad Ollie's back. Then Connie can just play behind Ballard. Just not sure about the centre midfield.
Ronnie 4861 said, I can't believe DJ gets to be on the bench, but young Limar gets sent out on loan because he couldn't get near the bench.
All right, some good, interesting points there. Came in there. I guess importantly, right, when you saw that 11, or I presumed anyway, is that you're like, right, it's round pegs and round holes. Ollie on the left.
Yeah.
Conley is the 10. Wellens on the right. That's what I thought. That's where they play. But obviously, when they lined up, Conley's on your left, Ollie's on the right.
Yeah, and Charlie's in the middle.
And Charlie's in the middle. So interesting stuff there from Richie. The match kicked off at a very cold Brisbane Road. It was horrible, wasn't it? With the O's looking for their 6-home win on the spin against the Blackpool team in 21st place in League One, including O's old boy and fans' favourite Jordan Brown.
Yeah, exactly. Early chance in the 3rd minute for the O's. Charlie Wellens delivered a free kick into the box from the left-hand side, but a header from Dan Happy was well wide. Couldn't just guide it enough, could he? Couldn't sort of twist his neck enough.
No,
So
it was
unfortunate.
Bit far out there. 16th minute in, we was playing some decent football in this one. Good build-up play. Saw Ole Miss have a curling effort on target, which was well caught by Peacock Farrell in the Blackpool goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought at this point, although Blackpool had a couple of minutes where they'd started quite strongly, I thought we'd settled in quite quickly, and I thought we'd been playing pretty much in their half for that whole of the rest of that quarter of an hour.
We did. With Ole Miss there, you could see what he was trying to do, just didn't get his foot around it enough. It's quite a central way. You could see he was trying to bend it into the top bins. All right, Aaron Connolly was looking dangerous in this one. In the 20th minute, he couldn't keep a shot on target, and a minute later, he sent an effort wide.
But we took the lead in the 22nd minute after a run from Michael Craig down the right, saw a pass ahead of Don Ballard come to the on-rushing Aaron Connolly, who curled his first-time effort into the corner of the net to make it 1-0 to the O's to get his 8th goal of the season.
That's
Thoughts on that?
Lovely finish. He calls it. If you watch, Idris is going to go for that ball. He clearly shouts at Idris, leave it. Because he knows exactly what he's going to do. Wraps his leg around it. Similar to his goal, I think against Stevenage, which was a bit closer in, but exactly the same technique. Running on, getting it onto his right foot, curling it into the bottom corner.
Yeah.
8 goals this season. Let's have plenty more. I love it, Mr. Connolly.
8 goals in, and we're only 17 games in, so it's literally on paper a goal every other game. Obviously doesn't work like that. Superb technique from Aaron, as you said, and a deserved lead at this point. I think we've definitely been pressing and knocking on the door for it, so yeah.
Agree. All right, in the 32nd minute, Tyreek Backerson was booked. I saw this back on the TV. It's late.
And it's stud show.
Very late.
I wrote that I thought the tackle looked fair at the time, but actually when you look at it back, it wasn't.
Awful
it was
tackle.
It was a naughty tackle.
You can see a few Blackpool players are trying to get in the ref's seat. To be fair, the ref will get criticised, as he should do through the game. I think he handles that really well.
I agree.
He kind of doesn't react, kind of leaves his cards in his pocket. You've got players coming up to him, he's telling him to go away. He's thinking about what he should do. I'm certain some refs will give him a straight red for that straight away, looking back. But he handled that quite well. To say,
probably the only
took his time, gave a yellow.
Grace. Yeah, Teo Adaramola was booked for pulling Fletcher after he slipped in possession in the 34th minute. Do you think he should have? Was that the right decision?
What, booking?
No, for Teo to pull him back. Because I thought there was enough coverage.
Well, it's hard, right? I mean, if he doesn't put Paul Fletcher back and they score from that attack, you're going, well, why don't you just take one for the team?
Yeah.
But you'll never know because that's not what happens. I mean,
double jeopardy.
A silly foul to give away, but like you said, it's that double jeopardy. So a booking there for Teo. Tyreek Backinson went down in the 41st minute following a head injury. He wasn't able to continue and he went off. Although the O's didn't make a substitution, hoping I guess Tyreek would hold out and maybe feel better at half time.
Yeah, but he didn't. 4 additional minutes were played out. Nothing to report. The first half came to a close with the O's leading, quite rightly, with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, Cahill, we don't report on every kind of piece of goalmouth action, but Cahill did pretty much have a save to make really in the first half, did he? So attendance announced 8,182 with 813 Blackpool fans making the journey to Brisbane Road. In the end, like you said, there was a half-time substitution as Tyreek Backinson couldn't come out for the second half and he was replaced by Sean Clare.
Just 2 minutes into this half now, and Teo Adaramola received his marching orders as he picked up a second yellow card for fouling his man following an underhit pass from Omar Beckles.
It's just a bit clumsy all round, isn't it? Maybe they were still a bit cold from the half-time interval, but a poor pass from Omar. You can't get away from that. The pass from Omar puts Teo into trouble, right? Because actually just coming to Teo's feet, he should just control it and get it away, but he doesn't even get anywhere near his feet. He's lost possession. He's struggling. He's trying to hold 2 men off. Again, gets beat. A little nudge. Maybe you could get away with that, some refs. But again, probably the right decision to give him another yellow card. Really frustrating, really annoying. And then that means literally we're playing pretty much the entire second half now with 10 men. And what was before that, a really comfortable, almost routine Orient home performance, I've got to say.
He's not made right decision. The whole thing is a catastrophe in the sense that Omar shouldn't have chosen him to be the next pass. It should have either gone long or it should have gone square, one of those two options, because he was being quite tightly marked, Teo, and it wasn't the right the right option. But on the flip side of that, it's a harsh yellow. I've seen plenty of those not even given a free kick for, and players waved on. And it's the inconsistencies of referees throughout the leagues that cause such frustration amongst fans and management. It's just. I mean, it's probably the right decision, but you just don't see it given all the time. It's just silly. And again, the decision making from Teo as well, like Richie says, it just needs to improve. And quickly.
He's a young man, right? That's why Palace sent him out to a League One club. Let's not beat around the bush. That's what they sent him to League One for, to learn, make his mistakes, so he doesn't cost Palace.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's essentially what they're doing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that's the risk you take with a young player.
Yeah.
So it will happen. The following free kick then was played in to the back post. It came down, back-heeled by Hamilton into the path of Fletcher, who blasted it towards goal from close range. And somehow Kenny Cahill made an outstanding reflex stop to tip the ball over the bar.
How's he saved that? That is his reflex. He's got the cat, ninja, whatever. Reflex is game-changing save for me.
Big moment in the game. I mean, if they scored that, you're literally playing 40 minutes at 1-1, and it's a very difficult game.
Yeah, agreed.
Great save. I mean, it's not the first time we've seen him make a reflex save like that. Fast becoming
Correct.
a fan's favourite. Dare I say it, fast becoming the established Orient #1 keeper.
Agree. His kicking wasn't great yesterday. I'm not sure if that was because of the weather, that it was some of them were overhit and not particularly accurate. But you can't fault his shot stopping. He's incredible.
Agree.
He's incredible. Second Orient sub came in the 52nd minute. Aaron Connolly made way for Azim Abdullahi. What do you reckon the thoughts behind that were?
It's always a shame to see Aaron Connolly go off, because again he was looking dangerous. He scored the goal, but then I would have liked to see. I mean, at this point, and I don't know whether it was the same before, but Ollie was on the left and Charlie was on the right, so maybe he's looking at Connolly going, "You're the 10. I need my two wide players, so the player I sacrifice is the 10," which I understand, but shame to see Connolly go off. I'm surprised that maybe O'Neill didn't go off, given that he's playing his first game back for a long time. But O'Neill was looking fantastic, really was. You couldn't tell that was his first start, come back off an injury. He was running at his man, didn't look tainted by it. It was obviously well up for it. Williams was having, they're all having good games, right? Like ultimately. Unless Connolly was still carrying a sore back, which hasn't been alluded to in this post-match interview. But again, we only know what we're told, right? So I presume Connolly might still be struggling with something. But yeah, you never like him to see him come off. But it was always going to be an attacking play. It was always going to be one of those four, right? And it wasn't going to be Don Ballard.
Sacrificial.
You weren't going to take off Don Ballard. So it's out of those three. Like ultimately, when it went into O'Neill or Connolly. So shame. It just means he'll be fresher for Burton Albion, all being well.
Yeah, absolutely right.
You?
Yeah, like he did that he did that last week, and I think Aaron's reaction was anger when he was taken off. I think there was a lot of frustration that he showed when he was walking to the sit down on the subs bench. He is the main creative outlet, but I guess if you're going to sacrifice, Don Ballard probably runs a bit more in terms of pressing comparative to Aaron. Maybe that's a bit wide of the mark. Others will see him differently, but yeah, I don't know. Personally, I'd have been inclined to have left him on and sacrificed someone else. Who that person is, I don't know, because I'm on the spot here, but maybe Dom or maybe Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to take your number 9 off, but again, you could always push Connolly as your 9 because we know he can play it.
Well, you've got Alfie Lloyd on the bench that can come
Absolutely,
on and do that,
which is what he does. I think the Exeter City comparison is a bit difficult because it's already got 11 men there. It's different, and they're 1-0 down. At that point, he comes off with all to play for. So a bit of a different comparison.
Agreed.
But at the point, yeah, it was all like going swimmingly. So shame to see him come off. But there you go. All right, we're going to jump now because Blackpool having a bit of the ball, but weren't really creating much. So we're going to go to the 74th minute, third Orient sub, as Alfie Lloyd, our guest this evening, came on and he replaced Don Ballard.
He did. Blackpool went close in 2 minutes later from a short corner routine, which saw Andy Lyons glance a free header just wide of the far post.
Bit of a warning sign there. He had a lot of time there.
Yeah.
No one was near him. But again, when you've got 10 men and they've got 11, there's always going to be a man spare, right?
True.
That's what happened then. In the 79th minute, Ollie O'Neill picked up a booking for a foul.
Yeah, 2 minutes later, there was an Orient breakaway, the breakaway that we spoke about with Alfie in our interview earlier. He won the ball down the right-hand side. Now, actually, of all the things that wasn't given a foul, I think that looked like a foul. It looks like he puts his arm in the back.
He gives him a nice little nudge.
He does.
But he's strong though as well. It's like his strength. Like he almost bounces off. He disguises it very well. Alfie Lloyd.
Yeah, fair. Anyway, Alfie drove towards the Blackpool goal. He put the ball on a plate for Charlie Wellens, but his shot unfortunately was weak, and the keeper made a comfortable save. Now, you can debate long into the night about what should have done or shouldn't have. But like I said in my question to him, like if he shoots and misses, he should have squared it, and if he squares it to Charlie and Charlie misses, he should have shot 6 of one and half dozen of the other.
Yeah, I mean, really exciting, a great run. I'm not surprised he was puffing after that. He said he felt a bit tired.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. He was off and away there. But if we score that, then the points are done, right? It's game over.
It's
game done. Charlie had a bit more time than what he realised. Alfie at the same time had a bit more time than what he realised. He said he could have probably gone on a bit more, drawn his defender to him, and then squared it to Charlie, who might have been in a better position there. But the chance was gone after that one. In the 82nd minute, another corner routine. So another free header for Lions, and this time it was on target, and Cahill made the save.
Yeah, Ollie O'Neill, Sean Clare and Dan Happy were all close by, and he was a free man. So I think they all got caught ball watching there. A little bit poor for me. 82 minutes on the clock. Charlie Wellens made way for DJ in our fourth substitution of the afternoon.
Okay, 4 minutes later, Idris went down. He collided in front of us in the south stand. It was clear he couldn't continue. As soon as it happened, he was on the floor, and you could see him doing the old substitution. Hand
holding his hamstring
holds
as well.
Yeah. So he came off. He was replaced by Josh Carrera. I guess worryingly, Idris went off on a stretcher. So I guess we'll wait this week to see kind of what the news and what the extent of that injury is. But obviously, we wish Idris a healthy and speedy recovery.
Yeah, all of a sudden, someone, I think it might have been you, went, there's a player down there.
Yeah, he had his hand up because play continued.
I didn't see what happened
Play
to him.
was going on.
Yeah.
I think his momentum just took him through. I think obviously it's not on the extended highlights.
No.
And it hasn't been published anywhere, like the video of what happened. But yeah, you never want to see that happen to one of your players or any player. To be
Never.
fair.
He was like, I'm done, like holding the hamstring, and Keaton's talking
Straight
to the
away.
bench
The two
and doing
physios were straight away like, he's going on.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
he's done. He's not carrying on. Minute later, an outstanding run from Ollie O'Neill saw him pick the pocket of a defender. He drove towards goal, won a corner. That unfortunately came to nothing.
Yeah, he done really well there.
He did really well.
Ollie O'Neill,
We
7
probably
minutes.
not sold that in the best possible way, but that was a brilliant bit of play from Ollie.
Absolutely. 7 minutes of additional time went up on the board. That was a bit shorter than what we thought we might get, actually. I think it was all fairly relieved. I thought it might be 10, maybe 11 on there. So I'd see 7. I was like, actually, we're 1-0 up, 7 minutes. Fair play, let's go.
Yeah. Blackpool equalised, though, in the 3rd minute. A cross was played from the left. It bounced off of Bloxham into the path of Fletcher, who finished from close range past Cahill to make it 1-1. That's a real hammer blow, isn't it? Like Alfie said.
It's a lucky goal, really.
Punch in the gut.
It's a lucky goal in terms of it comes in from the left. It hit Bloxham, doesn't know anything about it, just bounces off him into the path of Fletcher, who's being played onside by Clare. So it was onside. Beckles has got his hand up. Cahill's got his hand up. I think Craig's probably got his hand up. Good finish from Fletcher. Again, cups his ear away to the north stand. He's like, mate, it's a family stand. What's the point? At least do it to the south stand.
Obviously giving.
Although Peacock Farrell did cup his ear to the.
He did, but to be fair, he was being abused by a number of
Yeah,
fans. So
true.
to be fair, if you're going to give it, you've got to take
I haven't got a
it.
problem with that at all. I mean, yeah, good finish.
Don't
from
mind a
Fletcher.
keeper with a bit of character. We don't often see that.
I thought Cahill was unlucky there. Like, he made himself big.
Yeah, agree.
But it was a good finish from Fletcher. But yeah,
Fortunate
frustrating.
finish. I don't know that it was good. It was just fortunate. He just
He's
right
fortunate the
place,
ball
right
came
time.
to him. But
Yeah.
once he got the chance, he didn't spoon it over. Like, he made the right decision, placed it with pace into the bottom corner.
Yeah.
Had he just put his laces through it, Cahill probably saved that.
Yeah,
But yeah, you never want to see that, and then you're thinking, oh man, we've got another 3 minutes now.
yeah. And 1-0.
Ultimately.
Yeah. 96 minutes, and Alan McCormack was booked for protesting against the goal, and Azim Abdullah was booked for a foul.
All right, with
Busy
Blackpool looking for the winner. They had a long throw in front of the West Stand with O's. Well, I won't say O's fans. I would say 1 or 2 O's supporters pulling back emphasis. There'll be repercussions of that. I guarantee it. That ain't going to go away. There will be some kind of not investigation. That's probably the wrong word, but I think the FA will get involved in that. I don't think that happens often. Everett made a point of saying that in his post-match, and I thought he was actually quite fair in the quote that I've read, saying if that happened at our stadium, I would be expecting action to be taken against that. You don't want to see that. There's no way they should be that close to a player, be able to literally be pulling back that player's shirt. So some people might call it an overreaction, but I think Orient will get in a bit of trouble for that. I don't think you see that. Anyway, thankfully, the guy did take it. Definitely affected the guy's throwing as well, because he couldn't get leverage on his throw. Like, you see him try and do it, gets pulled back, and he thinks about taking the short one, and no, actually I'm going to take a long one, because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But you can see he doesn't
Doesn't
really
get
get
the
any
distance.
distance on it. Thankfully, that comes to nothing. We boot the ball away, and the full time whistle goes as the points are shared to the delight of Peacock Farrell again in the Blackpool goal, who's celebrating as the points were shared. It's good to see Jordan Brown though.
Yeah.
After he clapped the Blackpool fans, I don't know if he was still in the stadium at that point. He clapped the Blackpool fans. He stayed on the pitch, clapped the home fans. They got a nice ovation, as he should do, right?
Correct.
Because he's spent 2.5 years at the football club, done
Well
an amazing job. I thought that was quite a nice
Got a big
touch.
fee.
Quite a nice touch.
Yeah,
So
great. Nice boy.
yeah,
Good.
lad.
So we are going to play Rich's interview. It's about 4 minutes long because it covers a lot of the frustration. So here is Rich's post-match interview with Dave Victor from yesterday.
Richie, thanks for joining us. Can I start by asking for your thoughts on Blackpool's equaliser?
Well, it's a foul and done out. Pulls his shirt, kicks him, trips him up. But did we get one decision today? Honestly, I just cannot believe how bad the refereeing performances are. And I don't usually moan. 2 weeks ago, we win a penalty, and the goalkeeper's made no attempt to play the ball. He's pulled Don Ballard back. It's a sending off. It's not a double jeopardy rule. If he goes to play the ball, then you can't have a double jeopardy rule. It's a penalty and it's not a sending off. But he grabs him, so he doesn't make a play to play the ball. Referee doesn't send him off. Okay, our performance after that is not good enough. Last week we should have had 2 penalties. The standard of the refereeing, and I don't usually like doing it, is so poor, it is untrue. But it was offside, but forget that. Throw-ins, wrong decisions. Free kicks to us, it's actually laughable, the standard of the refereeing.
Well, I don't suppose you've got any complaints about the second yellow card for Adamola?
No, it was a lack of discipline. He'd done it twice where he gives the ball away in the middle of the pitch in the first half, and he should make a better decision, a more experienced decision, just to let the fella go. I haven't got a problem with the players making professional fouls if needed. Ollie O'Neill done one, Azim Abdullahi made one. When it's the right time, you're not on a booking. But you know when you're on a booking, especially with a referee like that. How many fouls did a week club make today? So to get 2 bookings for 2 soft things like that, but then their centre back not to be brought in, honestly laughable.
It looked like a bad injury for Idris El Mazouni.
Yeah, we're not sure yet. It's not a good one, is it?
Is it his knee?
No, we think it's concussion. So he went into the advertisement boards, didn't he? So we'll have to wait sure he's all right.
And of course, you're going to have a problem now at left back because that's a position where there isn't too much cover. How's Tom James?
He's not just left back. Tom James potentially might be back. We'll lose Jack Simpson overnight through illness. Dimitri Mitchell has got a slight hamstring. We have to take Tyreek off with a cut. Charlie run his heart out. Didn't want to take him off. Absolutely knackered. So we've got a few where we probably lost 4 or 5 in the space of 24, 40 hours.
The game changed with Teo's dismissal because the first half dominated. The 8th of the season from Aaron Connolly, and it was a special one.
Yeah, actually, I thought we could have had a couple more. I thought we got in dangerous areas. We looked threatening. Listen, hindsight's great, but I think if we don't get sending off, I think we win the game comfortably. I thought we looked a decent team. We could have had a little bit more control at times, but when they're building with a wing back who's really, really deep and a goalkeeper, they have quite a bit more possession, but it don't really cause you any problems. So yeah, listen, they're sending off to a big change, a big turning point. Pleased with Aaron with his goal. Thought he was a threat. Thought Ballard was a threat. Ollie O'Neill to get through 90 minutes, outstanding. But yeah, the sending off a big man. I still thought in general play he was pretty comfortable. They had a lot of ball, but he was pretty comfortable. We just some of the balls that we didn't have the personnel. I thought you look at us, we're playing wing backs. We've got Ollie O'Neill one side, who's a winger, and we've had to bring Josh Koroma on as the other side. We're just lacking a couple of midfield players at the moment through injuries. And obviously we're a little bit short in centre half with Reggie's injury and Simo being in.
And there's a late opportunity for Alfie Lloyd.
I thought Alfie was outstanding again, run his heart out. He's a threat. Fans love him straight away. He's an infectious character. So we're looking forward to getting him up to speed and fully fit. He's got a little bit longer. He's got 45 minutes against West Ham on Wednesday, and hopefully he can continue his upward curve in terms of his fitness and be a massive outlet for us.
Can I check on the fitness? So we think that Tom James might be available.
Touch and go for next week. I'm not even thinking about next week yet, but he'll be touch and go.
Thank you very much. Good luck for
Anyone
next
else?
week. No, that'll do me for
So
now.
that was
Thank you.
Dave Victor talking to Richie Wellens after yesterday's games. Thank you as always, Dave, for sending that one over. So that point then means the O's stayed 16th place in League One. We've now played 17, won 6, drawn 3, lost 8, got 21 points and a goal difference of -4. Biddy Lajana, your views on yesterday's match?
I thought we were excellent yesterday, actually, for the most part. I thought that we had some really good, strong passages of play. Like Alfie said, that the performances are improving. I thought Blackpool were really poor. You can see why they are where they are. I know Ian's he's only just gone in there, but to turn them around. But you think with the likes of Horsfall, who was at Stockport County last season, and some of their other sides like Jordan, they paid out some good money for some good players. I thought Jordan did quite well yesterday. Actually, some people commented that he was poor, but I think what Jordan does is he does the stuff that people don't really notice, and he does it really well, so that you don't notice him, and he does the unsexy stuff, and he's just good. And I think there's an element of us missing what he brings to the table as well. But look, I think we've got a good, talented squad, and I think we're getting better. It's just a shame that we're sitting here midway through November, and our season is kind of just getting going now. It's taken 16, 17 games for that to happen. Great goal from Aaron Connolly. I loved the energy and enthusiasm that Alfie Lloyd brought not only to our interview but to that, unselfish number 9. He earned the right to have that shot, and he didn't. It was unselfish. But look, I think the fact that we played so well, and the referees micromanaging games, it just doesn't need to happen. It could have just, a lot of those fouls were just niggles that most just let go and just let play go on, and it just didn't. But I think, look, there's positive signs there, and if we were playing badly and winning at some point, your luck runs out. We're not. We're playing well and not necessarily getting what we need to. But I think we've got the makings of a pretty decent side, despite what we might have been saying 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Nice.
For you?
I think if that's 11 versus 11, we probably win that comfortably.
Agree.
In all honesty, I think the referee didn't have the best game, but he's not the reason why we drew. I think it was like a sending off. Unfortunately, I think 2 yellows make a red. His first yellow was definitely a yellow, but his second probably was as well. Great to see Ollie O'Neill get 90 minutes. Really big positive. Michael Craig seems to have gone slightly under the radar. Thought he played really well. Great performance. Happy seeing he's getting back into the swing of things. Wish is good. Concerned about Idris. I think Idris would be a massive miss.
Yeah.
Backinson, I thought, had a really good 40 minutes yesterday.
Agree.
I thought he looked really good until his injury, so hopefully that one's not too serious, and hopefully that's just a standard concussion.
No, it's a cut. So hopefully
hopefully
that's not a concussion.
We'll see. What he says sometimes and what actually happens are two different things. Hopefully he's back next weekend, because like we said earlier, if you're going into Burton away without Idris and without Backinson, who do you play there?
Morehouse.
But then that gives someone else an opportunity, right? So someone else. Yeah. So we will see on that one. But a point, it feels like a defeat because in terms of the manner of it. But I guess like Alfie Lloyd said, when you go down to 10 men on the 47-minute mark and you're only a goal up to come out with a draw, it isn't the worst result at all. And it could have been worse, to be fair. So no, positive, decent performance. Like I said, 11 versus 11. I think we hold out fairly easily. I think that's a 2-0 or 3-0 because we were easily creating a lot more than what they were in that one. But just frustrating to see us not take the points.
Yeah.
But it's still such a convoluted division, right? Like, if you go on a run, if you win the next 2 or 3, suddenly you're looking above you, and if you lose the next 2 or 3, you're looking below you. So there's still a lot of establishment to happen in that division. But you look at the next couple of games and go, Burton Albion, Luton as the next 2, not as scary as what you might be thinking. Based on current performances, obviously, Burton didn't play yesterday, so that might work. That could work either or. Yeah. And then Luton, who've been in really good form, obviously get pummeled 5-0. Yeah. Away to Barnes.
I'm more worried about Burton than I am about Luton.
Well, I guess one game at a time, right? Yeah. But I think we're starting to play. Connolly's eighth goal of the season was fantastic.
Yeah, that's gone under the radar. How many goals he's scored?
Well, he's doing well. Ballard, I think, is on 7 in all competitions as well. So there's goals in there. Ollie O'Neill will only get you more goals as he plays more games as well. And Wenners is still playing really well. So good competition for places up the top end of the pitch. So those were our views. Lots of views came in. Just because we read them doesn't mean we agree with them. These are all tweets that came into us at Orient Outlook Podcast. Boatsy said, gutting to draw that game after battling so hard with 10 men after 2 yellows for Teo. To add to our misery, Idris looks like a bad one. And we go to Burton away next weekend on their awful pitch. I mean, their pitch I think has looked alright on TV so far, but who knows?
Yeah, Matty LOFC Evans said, as soon as we went down to 10 men, I was waiting for the equaliser from them. Sad to say, but it's 2 points wasted through a stupid moment from Teo. Disappointed.
Glenn Gatti. So not learning from our mistakes. Not the first time Teo has been caught in possession like this, and not the first time Beckles has underhit a pass in a tight situation. Great effort from the 10 men to nearly hang on though. Less said about the officiating, the better.
Clark Cam 100, don't agree with this one, to be honest with you. He says that has to be Teo's last game at left back and probably for us. In the unlikely event he ever puts on a nose shirt again before being sent back to Palace, then I would actually play him a lot further forward, as he's one of the few players who we have that can get past a man.
Well, there's a compliment in there somewhere about him being able to get past him. I mean, I think it does leave a big question. Like, obviously, Dave Victor ended the interview with Richard going, what's the crack with Tom James? And Richie said, it's touch and go. Obviously, if you've not got Tom James, then you have a slight dilemma at left back in terms of who do you play at left back if Tom James
Simpson will play. He'll probably go 3-5-2 and do Simpson, Beckles and Happy.
Well, you imagine Simpson is probably fine. I mean, he wasn't asked about Mitchell, so Mitchell can obviously play at left back if needed.
If he's
fit. He's played Craig before, has played left back this season. He's obviously played Abdullah and various different people at right back. So it'd be interesting to see what happens if Tom James.
That's also very true. He did play
fit,
Abdullah at right back.
LFC Loza, so clear offside it would seem for Blackpool's goal, and how the Lions person has missed it is beyond me. The referee seemed to the type to dig. I can't make out what this is saying.
Seemed to be the type to dig.
To be rebellious to the stick he was getting. He overcompensated Blackpool. Teo second challenge, clumsy, but a yellow. Behave.
Garrick07 said, he fought well. Teo sold short by Beckles' pass, in my opinion. Happy at fault for their goal. Main thing was we didn't lose. I thought Backinson looked good. The game changed when he went off. Claire only wants to pass the ball backwards. Need a result next week.
All right, Painting Orient said the opposition was so bereft of enterprise and goal that it's as if the ref took pity on them incessantly. A shame that the game was disrupted so much, as there were early signs of us knitting together with a growing familiarisation in the team.
Orient_Ed said, proud of the lads today. They fought hard, gave it 100%. Can't ask for any more than that. We were against the odds from the first whistle with this so-called referee. How he could say the ball was won fairly when the player is nigh on assaulted baffles me.
Matthew 81402115 said, I can't fault the effort today, especially the second half of 10 men. Getting sick and tired of shocking officials. Getting worse, not better. Hoping Idris is not too bad. This will be a massive loss in midfield.
Doe Lewis said, every single week we have to watch officials who are questionable, to say the very least, both for and against us. Weekly baffling decisions are made that make no sense to anyone watching. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, fair point there. Dear Stu, extremely inept ref performance. Shame we can't send Beckles to Bocco Island due to lack of other centre-backs. Craig fully deserved his man in the match. He was outstanding. I hope Backinson and Elmis are okay. And that stop from Cahill at the beginning of the second half was the best save I've seen in a long time.
Len M4, good tweet this. A great effort from everyone after the red card. The fact their keeper, who's Northern Ireland's #1 as well, was celebrating a draw says it all.
Yeah, good tweet there from Len. Aussie, LOFC said, I thought we played better than last week. Looked more threatening up front. Should have put the game to bed. Deserved 3 points, but wasn't meant to be. Hopefully Burton will be at a disadvantage for not playing over the weekend.
You think they'd be a little bit colder, right?
Hope so.
MS Orient said that Beckles pass to Adaramola was totally ridiculous. We were in total control of that football match. Blackpool were absolutely awful. The ref was disgraceful. Probably one of the worst I've seen in years. No idea where Beckles fits in now, to be honest.
Yeah, I think people are more disappointed with Beckles because his form last season was so good. He was so strong. It was like a man mountain in the second half of that season. And I think he'll probably be the first to admit he's not refound that form in the first half of this season anyway. Yeah. And I think had Simpson been fit, Beckles probably doesn't start that game, being brutally honest. So we'll see on that one. The real Rich Brown said 2 pretty poor teams and an even worse ref. A point each, probably fair enough all in all. Had the pleasure of being sat next to the guy assessing the ref. He didn't seem impressed.
Interesting. Very interesting. Dan Orton 2590 tweeted in and said, squad is looking threadbare again. Injuries starting to pile up again. Mitchell, James, Simpson, Reg all missing and still no Chinedu. Why did we recall him?
Good points there. Yeah, injuries from I think last week was quite optimistic. This week being a bit more balanced. Doyle_Hooper said at half time it was obvious that Teo was nailed on for a second yellow. Needed a word in his ear. Otherwise, a really decent performance that deserved 3 points. We should have killed the game and made it 2-0, but the ref was determined to give them an equaliser.
Evie Stark said, my issue with Teo's second booking was that the ref wasn't going to give it a yellow card until he was surrounded by the Blackpool players. I thought only the captain could approach the ref. So there's no intimidation or trying to influence the ref's decision.
Good point there from Evie. Toby of Loxley in the penultimate tweet in this one said Cahill is quietly becoming one of my favourite players. I don't see much talk about him because he hasn't had any dramatic moments, but he's unreal. Great professional too. Never complains or gets arrogant. Just gets on with it and puts in an 8 out of 10 every week.
We can concur. He's a great lad as well because we interviewed him for this very podcast. Final word of this week goes to Scott G199 12019, who said the obvious is if Charlie puts it away, the game is done. True, but cannot fault the effort of the players. Put in an excellent account of themselves. Very unlucky. 2 bookings were soft but correct. Aside from that, probably the worst refereeing display I've seen since last week.
Great
tweet. Yeah, great tweet. He's right. If Charlie puts that away, they don't get that second chance. Or they do get that second
100%.
chance. They put it away, but we still get all 3 points. It's immaterial.
100%. Yeah,
Shame.
2-0 the game's done, but that's moments, isn't it? It's all about the moments
about the
in a
moments.
football match.
Yeah.
So lots of views tonight on this podcast. Let us know if you agree or disagree with any that have been out. You can give us a tweet at Orient Outlook, or you can find us on Instagram at Orient_Outlook_podcast. We're on Blue Sky, Orient Outlook Podcast. We're also on Facebook at Orient Outlook Podcast. So if you're not on social media and you want to drop us an email, you can do so. We can be emailed at either orientoutlook1881@gmail.com or on orientoutlook@outlook.com.
So that concludes the game. Just to cover the prediction league now. So well done to several people who correctly predicted the correct score. So you will get 3 points. But extra special kudos goes to Floodgates, who correctly predicted the score and that Aaron Connolly was going to get that goal. So they get 4 points. So that means the top of the prediction league looks like this.
Yeah, it's getting tight up there. Ronan LOFC still leads on 10 points. In second place on 9 points, we've got Casey Adams LOFC, Steve Latas, Lennon 4, Patrick G321 and the Authentic Gaz. And behind them on 8 points we have that Torzos fan. The full table can be found on our Facebook page. And thanks to everyone for all of their predictions yesterday.
Absolutely. So let's move on to today, Sunday the 23rd of November. The O's ladies were in action and we've got an update from LOFCwomen.com who say today's 7-1 defeat at home to AFC Bournemouth. As you probably all know, it was played at Orient today at Brisbane Road and it was live streamed, free attendance but also live streamed on YouTube. But the home defeat to Bournemouth today has clarified as to where the ladies are in terms of the women's hierarchy. Bournemouth was strong, fit, fast and skilled in all positions. There were no identifiable weaknesses, certainly none that we could exploit. To go 3-0 down where all 3 goals were own goals effectively put an end to a match as far as the result. The O's did keep at it and made inroads as the game progressed, but that didn't hide the gap in quality between the two sides.
Yeah, to go on to say honourable mentions to go to Grace Gillard and Hayley West at centre-back. Eddie Leake's display was equal to Bournemouth's, as was Lucy Porter and eventually Steph McCaffrey and Loie Hushen. The second half introduction of Esme Lancaster and Georgia Griffin led something of a spirited recovery, but on the day, the opposition was just too good. Nigel Travis was also in attendance and added to his unfortunate record of only ever watching heavy defeats for the ladies. So yeah, I mean, we obviously had Jason and Craig on from the ladies team on last weekend's podcast, but they gave a great interview, a great account of themselves. They did say, even though I think it was 4 divisions difference, they thought or hoping it was going to be a close game. Wasn't meant to be, but they'll take it on the chin. They'll move on. And I think it's still going to be a great season for the ladies, whatever way you look at it. And obviously, I think we all got a bit excited by the recent results, thinking, actually, could they beat Bournemouth? And it's probably just a bit, obviously, it was too much of an ask for them, but we'll see how they get on next week.
So let's wrap this up then. We're at 1 hour 18 minutes now. So fantasy football, Sam Patterson is at the top of our Orient Outlook Fantasy Premier Football League. He's on 765 points ahead of Nicholas Crafitt, who is in second place on 760 points. Steve is on 138 out of 398 players. So that's the Premier League one.
All right, and the EFL Fantasy Football League, Cornwall is top of our Orient Outlook Podcast League on 1,264 points. He's just 2 points ahead of Abe Blower in second place. It's really, really tight up there.
And it's a double game week.
It is a double game week. Lots to play for. I'm in 16th place in this one. The Bid Legende is in 33rd place in this one.
Terrible week. Took a risk on 2 or 3 players this week. Thinking I might go for an unhidden, like a hidden gem.
Might come back. It might come back. 64 players playing. Go and check it out on the app where you are But yeah, we'll have a great fun in this one. We'll see how this one plays out throughout the rest of the week.
We will do indeed. So positives and negatives now. We've got a few for each. So Aaron Connolly's goal, a thing of class.
Great goal.
Really good goal. 90 minutes for Ollie, like you said earlier. Really good that he's played 20, 30 minutes here and there.
Superb. Last positive this week is the youth team result, 4-1 away to Exeter City. I mean, that Aaron Connolly goal, he's probably sitting at home thinking that should be goal of the month, but I don't think he wins it. I think Tyreek is going to win it. Second month in a row where he scored decent goals. Obviously, the October goal of the month was won by Don Ballard. Yeah. And Connolly put that free kick in the top bins, didn't win it. And he put that corner, curled it into the bottom corner, didn't win it. And he ain't going to win it this month either. Aaron, mate, you got to raise your game, buddy.
He's got a little back catalogue of good goals, though.
He has. I'm sure he'll win it sooner rather than later. Negatives, we've got 3 negatives. First up is injuries. So Dan Orton's tweet alluded to it, but the injury list growing again. Hopefully Simpson won't be out for too long. I think Richie said he got ill overnight, so hopefully he'll be back in the week. Obviously, we saw Backinson in that one. Idris, Tom James is still out. So injuries are coming back. Dimitri Mitchell obviously missed that game as well. Second of all, it feels like a defeat, but it wasn't. But a late equaliser always feels worse than what it is. So
2 points drop rather than a point gained.
True.
Yeah, especially when you've been winning. Obviously, Teo is now suspended for the next game. So the question mark is, what does the back four look like now? Who's playing left back? Is he playing a left back? Is he going to go 3-5-2?
Interesting.
With wing backs.
Interesting. We'll see what happens there. Lastly,
and if we can't work it out, I'm sure the Oppo won't either.
Good. Lastly, you won't be getting any injury updates off Richie on the pre-match on Friday.
And anyone who gets 11 out of 11 on their fan hub is somehow got an inside nose.
Last negative this week then. Ladies are out of the FA Cup, so unlucky there, ladies, with their first defeat of the season.
So Hero of the Week, let's move on to that as we close this out now. Hero of the Week, we are going to give this to this young man who we think had an excellent game yesterday. He is Michael Craig.
Well done, Michael
Bit of an
Craig.
unsung hero has gone unsung, and that he will take credit for the assist for Aaron's goal yesterday.
Yeah, really good game there, Michael Craig. Well done. So next week then, the O's have just one fixture coming up, another clear game week as we travel to Burton Albion, like we said. This one on Saturday, the 29th of November. Burton, who just by the skin of their teeth done a remarkable escape from relegation last season, currently sit fairly comfortable in League One this season. They're 14th in League One. Their game yesterday at Exeter City got called off, so like we said, it'll be their first game in 2 weeks. Hopefully we catch them cold. In their last 6, they've won 4, drawn 1 and lost 1 as well, so they're on a decent run of form at the moment.
Yeah, lots of green W's are next to their name.
Well,
so
I remember watching last season's game with you here on your telly, because it was when we were in our good run of form. Do you remember we were 1-0 up? I think Adji scored. It was a really easy goal, terrible defending on their part. Half time we made it in 1-0, thinking we're going to have this lot here.
They turned
we came out, we were awful in the second half. They got this bit between their teeth, made it difficult, and they won the game 2-1. So it ain't going to be an easy trip there at all.
No, and Gary Bowyer's a wily fox. He's a wily operator, so it won't be easy. So if you're going, have a safe journey. Give us a tweet at any point to complete your match day experience. So a sponsorship reminder, thanks to John and the fantastic team of Experienced Florists at Carol Langley. If you want to order something from them, they are on 0208 529 4130. You can message them on socials. They're Carol Langley E4 or Essex Biz on Twitter, and just search Instagram for Carol Langley Florist and Facebook the same.
Alright, so that is it. Thanks to everyone for joining us for episode 409 and a quiet week. So a much improved performance from the O's in the pouring rain in E10, especially in the first half, where we created several good chances to win it, leaving plenty of positives to take after sharing the points against a resolute Blackpool team. And another clear week ahead with just the one game next Saturday means those with injuries hopefully have time to recover and hopefully be in contention for next weekend's game at Burton Albion, which you can hear all about in the next episode of the Orient Outlook podcast.
So if you're listening on iTunes, please subscribe. Give the podcast a 5
podcast.
Created a new genre there with a slip. Podcast a 5-star rating. If you're on Spotify, you can rate the show. So don't forget to do that. You can even leave comments on each episode now as well, in case you weren't aware of that new feature. Although we do mention it every week, please do so if you get the chance. And don't forget to follow us and add us to your favourite podcast provider. That way you'll get all the episodes as soon as they're available. We're also on Smart Speaker, the Fan Hub app, and we're also on YouTube. So listening to us has never been easier. If you've got an older relative, a loved one, or an Orient chum who do you think will have an interest in hearing about people like Alfie Lloyd and what they're up to and other bits and pieces, grab their phone for them, download it, and pass the pod.
All right, a massive thank you once again to this week's guest, Alfie Lloyd. Great to have him on the podcast. A bundle of energy, huge enthusiasm. So we've got an absolute touch there with him in the squad. Also, thank you to the media team for sorting out the interview with Alfie. So we'll be back next week with episode 410 with all the information and views that you could ever need. We look forward to hearing from you. And as always, keep calm, stay safe, have a great week, and listen to the Orient Outlook podcast.
Up the O's.